Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavati Tamastuma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamatav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. So, we are in the process of doing the first verse. Last line is left out to be discussed. So, we will straight away go into that. See, after having said Bhavasukhe doshaha anusandiyatam, may you see the doshas, the limitations that are there in the Bhavasukha. Having said that, now Bhashyakara says, Atmecha vyavasiyatam. If there are limitations in the happiness coming from the world outside, then where should I look for it? So, Bhashyakara is Atmecha vyavasiyatam. What does it mean? Atma Vishaya Icha means Swasya Abhilashaha. Swasva Abhilashaha Vyavasiyatam Nishchiyatam. So now, may you try to know yourself, and for that, Atmecha Vyavasiyatam. May you have a burning desire to know the self. Why? As we said on the first day. For this definitely, pariksha of the happiness and the nature of the things coming from the world is necessary. Without that, you will not be able to see the finiteness of the world. And that is why, yesterday is in Mundak, it was said, even though the student asked, Shaunaka asked for what? Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. What is it? By knowing which I will come to know everything. So Angira Rishi, sage or the teacher Angira, should have straight away begun with that one thing. That is the knowledge of Aksharam. But instead of doing that, he started with what? Aparavidya, not Paravidya. Even though the student asked for Paravidya, teacher began with Aparavidya. Why? Precisely because the reason is that the nature of the world, the Swarupa of the world should also be known. We should clearly know the things for what they are. Then only the Vairagya which will arise will be healthy. Once I know that the world is limited, even though it may appear to give you something, it is only temporary. It is bound to go away. And whatever it can bring is not going to satisfy you forever. So this should be clearly known. World can give finite. And this also we should discover that what am I seeking? What am I seeking? My aspiration, is it for finite things or something infinite? Unless we discover this, it won't happen. So first find out that the scope of the happiness which the world can give is only limited. It is only limited things. Whereas in my life so far, I have tried limited things, but they have not worked with me. In the sense that I'm seeking limitless. Things which are time-bound, space-bound, and other limitations are also there, is I have had enough with them. Because they have not been able to give me that which I really want. When you discover this, then the desire to know the self will arise. Now here the question may arise that why self? But now there are only two things in the world: Atma, Anatma. Self, non-self. We have looked in the non-self. In the non-self we have looked. Now which place is left out? Atma. See, student doesn't know much at this point, but he is intelligent enough to know these simple things, that maybe it is in a place where I have not looked so far. And here, some Shravanam, something that you may have read, and in India this is not a problem because so much of satsanga is going on. In books also you read all this. And that is how now the desire to know the self or Paramatma or that which is limitless arises. That which is limitless now arises. Where is it? Now along with this, desire for limitations will not go. Limited things will not go. As Lord Krishna says in the 2nd chapter itself, Vyavasayatmika buddhihi eka iha kurunandana. When you make a resolve, this is what I want, then simultaneously you should not be looking for limited things also in different places. Resolve should be one. Firmness of the mind is required. So it is said, Atmecha vyavasiyatam. May you now desire to know the self. As Brihadaranyaka Upanishad very well says, it says, Kim prajaya karishyamaha. What will we do with progeny? What will we do with name and form? But what will we do with the worldly things? Why? Because now I want limitless, and it is nowhere to be found. Mundaka will say, Nasti akrutaha krutena karmana. This is what we have to, in some way, arrive in life. This work we have to do. We have to observe things, examine things. One corner of your mind is always observing, examining, and coming to conclusions. I experienced this, it gave me this, but I have had to pay a big price. Ultimately, of what gain is this? In this way, mind should be examining. Don't let the experiences just pass. Learn something from them. Experiences are constantly telling me something. I'm sorry, I don't have that which you are seeking from me. Experiences are telling us this. I don't have that which you are seeking from me. Each and every experiences, whether big or small, trivial or of importance. Every experience and stage of life is telling us this. And then we slowly but surely come to the conclusion, the world has nothing to offer to me. And so then what am I doing? Now the desire is there. What? I must know the limitless. I don't want anything less than that. This is called Atmecha Vyavasiyatam. So Brihadaranyaka, Putraishanayascha, Vittaishanayascha, Lokeshanayascha. There is desire for Putra. There is desire for Vitta, generally speaking. And there is desire for name and fame. Upanishad encompasses all the desires in these three desires. Which three desires? Desire for progeny. By putra, your coming back to this world is secured. Putrena ayan lokaha jayaha, it is said. By putra, this is in Indian culture. That is why people want son and not daughter. They want son because of this. The roots are there in our Shastra. When you have the son, he will do all the kriyas, etc. And so this world is secured. Then, Vidyaya Devalokaha. By Vidya means Upasana, not Brahma Jnana. By Vidya, what is meant is Upasana, etc. You get Svarga Loka and other lokas. And with other things, you may get name Vidyaya Devalokaha Putrena Ayan Lokaha Jayaha. And I don't want any of this. I don't want any of this. So I give up all this. And I pursue Atma. I pursue the knowledge. Atma is already there, but I don't know what it is. So I pursue the knowledge of Atma. So this is Atmecha Vyavasiyatam. Another thing. Yajnavalkya, there is a very beautiful and eye-opening incident in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad in the form of dialogue between sage Yajnavalkya and his wife Maitreyi. Actually, he had two wives, Maitreyi and Gargi. Katyayani, I'm sorry, not Gargi. Gargi is an institution by herself. So Maitreyi and Katyayani. So Yajnavalkya has now decided to take sannyasa and go. And so he called both of his wives and said, now I want to distribute my wealth between both of you, so that you will be taken care of. So Katyayani took her part and left. But Maitreyi is very intelligent. She said, oh sir, by what you are giving us, will we get Amrutatvam? Will we find Amrutatvam immortality in this life? Yajnavalkya was very honest. He said, no. No way. Amrutatvasya nashasti vittena. There is no way that you can get immortality or limitlessness by wealth. At the most, by wealth, you will get comforts. But comforts is not Amrutatvam. Comfort is one thing. But happiness, lasting happiness, absolute happiness is something else. So she now says, if it is not able, if it cannot give us this, then what will I do with that? I am your wife. I am your life partner. I am your better half. And so I want that which you have. She's very smart. She said, I have a right over whatever you have. And you have the knowledge. So give us that. Because knowledge, you are going away. See, she dared to ask him, you are going away and leaving me here with these finite things. I don't want it. He was very pleased. He was very pleased with that. He said, you were always, I always liked you. And today, I like you more. Why? Because you have these kind of questions. So sit down. And then he said, what you want, for that, Atma va are drashtavyaha. For that, Atma has to be seen. Seen means what? Not pratyaksha, not as an object, but it must be understood. The nature of the self must be understood. Why? Because, O Maitreyi, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. O Maitreyi, whatever we like in this world, whatever we are after, is not for the sake of it, but it is for the sake of the self. Just imagine the thoughts that are there in the Upanishads. I like this object not because the object has something in it, but I like it because I love myself. And this object is conducive in loving, in my loving myself. This object, when it becomes conducive, it will help me in my love affair with myself. Understood? So wife is loved Not because wife is like that, but wife is loved because I love myself. Only when the wife is conducive, compatible. Same things with everything, for husband also. Only when the husband is conducive, only when he is supportive, considerate, then you like. Otherwise, you go your way, I go my way. When we stop helping each other, then we don't like those things. So this is a different matter. But this is how Atmanastu Kama. Atma is the, everybody loves nothing but Atma. The entire world is loved, if at all it is loved, not for the sake of it, but it is for the sake of the love for the self. Then why not directly know it and find out that it is already lovable? So, this is how Yajnavalkya ji directs Maitri's mind where? Where? Towards the self. Oh dear, look for it in the self, because there is nothing in the world as important and valuable and loving as the self. This is how he creates the desire for the knowledge of the self in Maitri. In a masterly manner, from extrovertedness, he makes his mind introvert and then gives the knowledge. And then he says, what are the means for it? So he says, Atmavare drashta, it should be known, it is worth knowing. And what are the means? Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha. But that comes later. But here, this is how one should have the burning desire to know the self. Oh, I have been restless for lives together. And now I come to know that it will be found within myself. It is hidden right here. Gudotma. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudotma. It is lying in every heart, in every being, but we do not know. Unfortunately, we have so much of the knowledge of the world, but it is all, I don't know myself. This is the irony, biggest irony of life. And that one has to solve by knowing the self. So that is done. Atmecha vyavasiyatam. And now you want to know the self. So, nijagruhat turnam vinirgamyatam. For this nijagruhat, nijasvakiyam gruham, tasmad vinirgamyatam. So may you now quickly, nijagruhat turnam, one's own home, turnam means quickly, without losing time, vinirgamyatam. May you leave it. Now we have to understand this properly. Why? Because now it is clear that I want to know the self. And for this, now I have to look for the teacher. I will not come to, because it is already there, but I don't know it. So I need to go to someone who knows it and can also impart the knowledge. Now see, in those days particularly, teachers and gurus were not available the way they are available now, in this time. In those days, they had to look for the, we read about all the great Mahatmas, you know, they would leave the home and go in search of the teachers. And they would be somewhere in the Himalayas and mountains and some remote places. They may not be around you. Perhaps in Chaturmasa, in the 4 months of the rainy season, they may be there. They may come to the cities. Otherwise, they are hidden. And some of them never come down. They are in remote places. And you don't even know them. So you have to go and look for them. And once you are not sure when will you find, where will you find. So you pack up, you wind up and go. Because you are not sure. And if even after some time you come back, your family may not recognize you. They may not accept you. They may have done with you. So this is there. That nijagruhat turnam vinirgamyatam. Now you may please leave the home. You may ask, why leave the home? Home stands for 2 things. Home stands for attachment, We are all bound, family members are bound together by asakti, sneha, love, which is needed. When you live together and you don't care for each other, that is not heard of. Then you cannot live together. So attachment is bound to be. And second thing, kartavya, when you are at home, then their duties are there. You have to perform your duties. So what is wrong with them? No. Now the time has come when I want to know. I want to devote time to myself. At that time, if the mind goes away in the family members or in those things, then the mind is not available for this. Second thing, even when there is this sense of duty, this is my kartavya, this duty, one has to do. But after a certain time, when it has done its job, what? When the heart is pure and the jignasa, the desire to know has arisen, now use that mind. And now that sense of duty will be a disturbance. And when you are at home, not doing also doesn't work. Because everybody has duties. And even if family members allow you, you need not do. We will do everything. But there is definitely a guilt feeling in the person that I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to contribute, and I'm not doing anything. So all this sense of doership, sense of duty will become a vikshepa. It becomes a cause of disturbance. That is why also you may now leave. And now you don't want anything out of it. See, once you give up, then all your rights also are gone. As long as you are enjoying the rights, you have the duty. But once you step out, then there are no more rights. You cannot demand. And neither can you demand from the family nor from outside. No, I want only this. I want idli sambar only. I want this only. No. Prarabdaya samarpitam svavapuhu. Then you have to give yourself to destiny. So, nijagruhat turnam vinirgamyatam. So that now you are on your path. This we can do only and only when we have Shraddha in Bhagavan. That things will be taken care of. He is there to look after. And one leaves the home. So that. Now we come to verse number 2. We'll read that. You repeat after me. Sangasatsu vidhiyatam bhagavato bhaktir drudhadhiyatam. Shantyadif parichiyatam drudataram karmashu santyajyatam. Sadvidvanupasrupyatam pratidinam tatpaduka sevyatam. Brahmaikaksharamardhyatam shrutishiro vakyam samakarnyatam. Ksharamardhyatam shrutishiro vakyam samakarnyatam. So, gradually we are rising the steps. We are on the steps one by one. Now comes Sangaha Satsu Vidhiyatam, which means may you now court the company of wise people. May you keep the company of wise. Sangaha. Sangha means company. Satsu. Satsu, this word is derived from Sat. And it is seventh, or plural, seventh case of Sat. So, Satsu. Me vidhiyatam. It is an agnya, vidhan, the imperative mood. that may you now take the shelter or court the company of wise people. Why wise people? Because, a man is known by the company he keeps. You are at a stage when still very vulnerable, still very impressionable. So it is quite possible that if you are in company of ordinary people or dussanga is there, that also may affect your mind. So now you be in the company of wise people. Wise people are sung, and satsus, those who abide in truth, those who very well abide in truth. That is why in our culture, satsanga is emphasized like anything. Satsanga, company with Satpurusha. Bhashyakara says, Sats in Bhajagovindam, Satsangatve Nissangatvam, Nissangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nishchalatatvam, Nishchalatatve Jivanamuktihi. Very beautiful. Satsangatve Nissangatvam. Because they are deeply abiding in that truth. And wise people, they are like Prayaga. Tulsidas ji says, they are like Prayaga. Prayaga is confluence of three: Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. Similarly, wise people have everything in them. They have knowledge also, Jnanam. They have karma also. Karma yoga is also there. They have bhakti also in them. It is confluence of three in the wise people. So when you are with them, you get the benefit of all the three. And their vibes, their whole personality is such that it affects you. It makes an impact upon you. So always be in their company. If they are not around, look for them and learn from them. That is why it is said, we must have role models in life. There should be an adarsha in our life whom we look up to. And we may not be able to do it on our own, but we follow their footsteps. We follow their direction, margdarshan. We look for that from them. So always be in their company, so that you get the benefit of their knowledge. That is why Bhagavan also says, Yadyad acharatis shreshtaha. Whatever he does, I will automatically do. In their company, I will get the benefit of their knowledge. That is why Bhashyakara says that Sangaha Satsu Vidhiyatam. May you be in the company of wise people. Bhashyakara goes to the extent of saying, in Bhajagovindam, that Kshanamapi Sajjana Sangatihi Eka Bhavati Bhavarnava Tarane Noka. See the Kshanamapi, he goes to the extent of saying that even a moment, we may not believe this, but he says that even a moment with a powerful wise man is capable of making you go across the ocean of samsara. Kshanamapi sajjana sangatihi eka bhavati bhavarnava tarane nauka. It can become a boat which can ferry you across the ocean of samsara. How come? Their impact is such. Their impact is such. And we have examples also. To give you one very glaring example. In Ramayana, who is the author of Ramayana? Valmiki ji. What was his past? We all know he was a robber. And he had no sensitivity in him. But when he came across Naradji or Saptarshi, one of them, then Naradji, it is said, in the company of the Naradji said, why are you doing all this? He said, livelihood. He said, but you are incurring sin. He said, I know it, but my wife and children, they will all support me. He said like that. He said, better go and ask them. Better go and ask them. So he said, but you don't run away. What Naradji had that he wanted to steal away from him. But he said, you don't run away. I want your dhotis and everything. So Naradji says, okay, if you don't believe me, tie me with a tree. Valya, he was called Valya, huh? He was not Valmiki at that time. He tied him, Naradji, with a tree and then left. And he's going and asking to his wife, I am doing all this, so you are there with me, no? He said, no, what you do, you have to suffer. It is your duty to provide for us, nothing more than that. Then, so his eye, it was a whistleblower. This was a whistleblower, means his eyes opened. He came back. What you are saying is right, but all my life I have been doing this. In which naraka, in which hell will I go? Naradji said, there is one way for your rescue now. I can do that. He said, what is it? Tell me. So he said, take the name of Ram. The name of Rama will do the work. This poor fellow could not even utter Ram. Such a raw person he was. So he sat down. And what is he uttering? Mara, Mara, Mara. Rama also he cannot speak. But imagine, the impact of the words of the Guru, of Naradji, was so much that he just sat down. And they said, and constantly doing this japa, Rama, 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 Rama. Not Rama, Mara, Mara, Mara. An anthill developed around him. Then one day somebody was passing and they heard Mara, Mara. Then they digged, then found this. And by that time, he is now converted into what? Valmiki. With each name, for so many years, each name coming from the navel and attacking all the chakras, and all the papas are now gone. But Shraddha, this is just to show you how company of the wise man is capable of changing the lives. Vivekananda also, in company of Ramakrishna, so many such incidents and examples are there. So it is said, Sangaha Satsu Vidyatam. At least don't be in the company of bad people. If you cannot find good people, but remain away from Dussanga, that will come here. Because otherwise, that impact will be there. So if you cannot find good people in person, read the character sketches of wise man, of great people. That also makes an impact, of bhaktas and wise man and all that. Keep reading them, reading them, reading them. Then those gunas all also come in us. So, Sangaha Satsu Vidyatam. Then, Bhagavataha Bhaktihi Dridadiyatam. Bhagavataha means sixth case of Bhagavat, Parameshwaras, Ishwaras. May Bhagavataha Bhakti, may you firm up. Drida Adhiyatam. May you firm up the devotion for Bhagavan. How come now, what is the place of devotion? All of a sudden Bhashyakara is now bringing devotion. Why? It is very necessary. Because, see, Nanu, where is it here? Nanu Devakrut Vigna Bahulye Tad Vishayaka Vichare Pravrittireva na Udayam Asadayet. You see, in this path, as we saw yesterday, there are bound to be obstacles in any path. Even in life, when we are living our life, there also so many problems are there. But more so in this path, because this is going against the current. Against the usual current, you are going against that. People may not understand you. Even the devatas, it is said that they pose problems, everything, because they lose their client. There is a very big mantra in Brihadaranyaka that when one is on this path, then vignas, obstacles are there, maybe to test. And because now desires are going, so you will not be approaching the small devatas to fulfill your small desires. So what happens? They are losing, bhaktas losing. That is how it is discussed in Brihadaranyaka. In short, obstacles are there. And as long as they are there, I am not still strong enough to fight with them. And in spite of them, I may not make progress. So, now you approach whom? Bhagavan. Who is who? Who is Sarvagnaha, Sarvashakt. Bhagaha. He has 6 qualities. He has everything. There is absolutely nothing impossible for him. And when you want to come out of this samsara, why will he not help you? Because he is all for this. When he is ready to fulfill the desires of samsara, when Sakama Bhakti is also fulfilled, we go to Tirupati ji, we go to Guru Vayura, everywhere to fulfill our desires. That when he is capable of doing this, perpetuating samsara, because that is what you want, then when the right desire is there of coming out of this, why will he not help? But again, when will the help come? You have a grace. Grace is absolutely necessary. And as we discussed yesterday, grace cannot come unless you work for it. You have to earn the grace, tap the grace. Just as water is there in the tap, when you open it, the water is going to flow. But you have to tap it up. The water is there underground. Similarly, bhakti is that devotion, nishkama bhakti, sneha, where you don't want anything of the world from Ishvara. But what do you want? Please help me. I cannot chart my life on my own. I am helpless. Uddharamam, deenam, atideenam. When you are seeking from Bhagavan, he is listening. And you are offering something, patram, pushpam, phalam, otherwise your bhavana, your prayers, when they come from the deep recesses of your heart, he is there to listen. So, Bhagavan, Bhashyakara, see, Bhashyakara param jnani. He abides in Atma Jnanam and still talks about what? As a means. Bhakti is a means. So that you firmly stand on your ground. So bhakti is devotion. Devotion is needed. At this moment you require help. So even if you are doing puja, worship, upasana, japa, tapa, you remember we speak that verse. Deho devalaya proktaha, jivo devas sanatanaha. I am doing puja, but still with what bhavana? Soham bhavena puja. You and I are one, but still I don't know that today. I don't abide in that. For me, you are still different, and I need your help. Why not help me? When this kind of prayers arise, and for that the ground has to be, some relationship is required with Ishtadevata, definitely. Personal relation, Bhagavan has to be your best friend, mother, father, whatever. Seek from him, ask from him. As they say, knock the door and it will be opened. But knocking has to be done. Knocking has to be done. So, Bhagavataha bhaktihi dridhadiyatam. Bhagavan comes to do yame vaishya vrune. You ask and I am there. But we have to choose him. We have to choose him as our only help in life. Even though I don't see him, even though he is not before me, but still I have Shraddha that there is someone, an all-powerful, and he knows everything. And when I make an entreaty, when I make a humble plea in terms of vachika, kaika, manasa, prarthana or bhakti, it is bound to work. It is bound to work. Just as Mirabai said, Mere to Giridhar Gopal, dusaro na koi. Because whatever happens, and you have to solve it. I will not go to anyone else. People were there to pose problems, to create obstacles. Every time they are removed because you have surrendered. You have surrendered. You have given your responsibility to Bhagavan. And that happens when when bhakti is done, please Him. To earn the grace, we have to do something on our part. Once that is done, Bhagavan says, then my partiality is there. He clearly says in Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I am equal to all. Name dveshyaha, name priyaha. I don't hate anyone and I don't have excessive attachment for anyone. But, then second line, Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. He categorically Bhagavan says, Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. One who worships me with devotion, then I am his. Bhakti is something, devotion is something which makes impartial Bhagavan partial. Bhagavan who is otherwise impartial and otherwise common. But bhakti is that element. Bhakti means nothing but love. Nothing but love. You may express it in any way, but do that. Then Bhagavan who is impartial will become partial. Partial in the sense, even though your karmas are not good, He is capable of removing them. Even though there are big papa karmas in your account, who is capable of removing them? Only and only Sarva Shaktiman, because He is omnipotent. Omnipotent means nothing is impossible for Him. Understood? So, it's not without reason that Bhashyakara is writing this. Otherwise, we have a short life, not much time, and supposing our prarabdha and durit papas in that, if they will stop us, then where will we go? In limited time, we have to complete the job. So we take the help, and help of one for whom nothing is impossible. So, Daivam, your hard work may not bring the result. What will bring the result? Daivam. Daivam will bring the result. It can make the difference between success and failure. Bhagavan's presence in your life can make only He. That is why many very intelligent people sometimes wonder, and bhaktas do the work. Bhaktas are smart that way. So, Bhagavan's bhakti can make the difference. That is why Arjuna chose whom? Both of them went for Bhagavan's help. Before the war, both Arjuna and Duryodhana went. But Duryodhana, the duffer, he chose the army. He thought army will do. He asked for it. And Arjuna, he says, for me only you. Bhagavan said, I am not going to have any weapons. Just me, VIP guest. I will be the VIP guest. It becomes a burden, huh? It becomes a burden at such a time. Then you are going to sit and I have to look after you. I don't want you. Arjuna said, only you. And he said, you become my Sarathi, charioteer. Because he knew, Arjuna, this relationship with Ishvara in some way makes you, enables you to make the right choice. If you don't make the right choice, gone. That you can make the right choice at the right time, you have made it. You have made it. Duryodhana made the wrong choice. But what can he? He would never have made the right. He thought he is right. And he thought Arjuna is fool. Actually, who came first? Duryodhana came first. But Bhagavan again became partial. He said, Arjuna, you asked first. I saw you first, plus you are sitting at my feet. So my eyes fell on you. So you better. Duryodhana said, but I came first. Bhagavan said, nothing doing. So right from the beginning, partiality had begun. And Arjuna asked for Lord. Anyway, Bhagavataha bhaktihi, this will carry you all along. Even afterwards, raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, all this, even after you are on the path, these enemies don't leave you sometimes. They pose a big problem. For that also, now a sadhaka, a mumukshu, even a sannyasi, need to pray. Because the work has to be done. Work has to be done. There may be certain problems inside. Remove them. They don't go on their own. Then you have to pray, oh Bhagavan, remove this. I left the samsara, but what about this? Leave me, make me free from all this. Huh? So there also who will help? Don't think I'm now Gnani and so on. No. Bhagavataha bhaktihi. There are such beautiful stotras are written by Bhagavan Bhashyakara. He writes, Matsamav pataki nasti. Oh Bhagavan, oh Mother, there is no great sinner like me. Matsamaha pataki nasti. And there is no great remover of papa like you. There is no great remover of papa like you. So now you decide what is to be done with this child. This is how he writes, which means what? Bhakti is necessary. Huh? So, Bhagavataha bhaktihi dradadiyatam. Then, and after having approached, Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata, the famous verse, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja ahantva sarva papebhyah. I am capable of removing everything. So, for that bhakti. Then, shantyadihi parichiyatam. Now, may you cultivate shantyadihi parichiyatam. This parichiyatam word has come from chin dhatu. Chi. It is in the sense of collecting. Collect. What? And cultivate. Collect first and cultivate. What? Shantyadihi. Shantyadihi means the quality is beginning from shanti. That means sixfold qualities. Actually, a seeker needs sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Sadhana chatushtaya means viveka, iha mutrartha falabhoga viragaha, which means vairagya, nitya nitya vastu vivekaha. First is discerning what is nitya, what is anitya, first quality. Then second quality is vairagya. What I am seeking is neither there nor here. So, I turn off my face from that. I don't want any of it. Vairagya. Third one is Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, which is being mentioned here. Shantyadihi. Which are the sixfold qualities? Shamaha, Damaha, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhanam. These are this bunch of the six is mentioned here. Shantyadihi. Parichiyatam. May you meticulously work upon it and collect it. Make it your personality. Make it the part of your personality. Now let us see quickly one by one. Shantyadihi. Shantihi. Shanti means shamaha. Shamaha means, Bhashyakara only has given all these definitions. Mano nigraha. Shamaha means quietness of the mind. But for that, in the beginning, you require restraint over mind. And that can come. Mind is attracted towards the objects. So see their limitations. Virajya vishaya vrata dosha drishtya muhurmuhu. Every time see. Every time you are attracted towards the objects of the world, see their limitations. Because by habit, the mind will go there. Every time bring it back. And bring your mind back to your goal. And somehow make the mind available. And in this, you have to help yourself. Because mind is our friend. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu. Atma alone means I am my friend if I help myself. And I am my enemy if I do not help myself. And mind is the instrument. We have to know Atma with the mind only. And if that mind is not cooperative, If it doesn't cooperate, I want to study Gita and it wants to go out. Then it won't work. So mind has to do exactly as I want it to be done. For that, complete sahakara, complete cooperation is that mastery is needed, mastery over mind, which means mind does as I command and not the other way around. Not the other way around. Just as Swamiji says, when the dog wags the tail, beautiful. Dog wagging the tail when he's happy. He wags the tail. And supposing tail wags the dog, it looks very odd. Similarly, I should not be conducting my life based on the vagaries of my mind. I command the mind, sit down, sits, get up, do Gita, meditation, this, focus. Don't focus on what is going to be there for the lunch. Focus here. So, what I'm saying is that mano nigraha, restrain over the mind. Then second one, damaha. Chakshuradi bahyendriya nigraha. This was mastery over the mind, but damaha is mastery over our sense organs, eyes, ears, tongue, everything. Chakshuradi bahyendriya nigraha, my restraint, my command over eyes, ears, all the sense organs. And there is balance in everything, proportion in everything, eating, drinking, getting up, sleeping, everything in proportion means a disciplined life. Otherwise, what will happen? I may restrain my sense organs, but the mind will go. I will be restraining my sense organs, but the mind will go. Then it is hypocrisy. No. So, restrain over all this. Then, shama, dama, uparama. Uparama means now mind happily abides. Uparama means bahya vrittehe analambanam. Now, mind is happily abiding in the self. That is uparama. Then titiksha. Titiksha means what? Shitoshna sukha dukkhadi sahishnutvam. I am ready to put up with what? Shita, ushna means cold, then hot, heat and cold, and mana, honor, dishonor. See, dvandvas. The world is full of pairs of opposites. This keeps on continuously appearing in my life. And if I dance to the tune of all this, then what happens? My mind will always be unstable. If there is heat, then I run for AC. And if there is cold, I want what is that? Heater. Unless it comes, I am restless. Mana, then again I am disturbed. I am jumping with joy. Apamana, again disturbed. In this manner, world and its current gets the upper hand. No. In spite of all of them, I have the strength and the capacity to be happy in the midst of them. So, that is called titiksha. Again, there is one beautiful definition. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. Chinta vilaparahitam. This is given by Bhashyakara in Vivek Chudamani. That I put up with all the dukkhas, small dukkhas in life, without worrying. Otherwise, I don't say anything, but inside the commentary goes on. Why did it have to happen to me? Why only me? Why Bhagavan picks me up only? So constantly inside I am worrying and anxious. Without that. Titiksha. Then Shraddha. Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha. I have firm faith in Vedanta, words of Vedanta, and Guru's words. Vedanta comes through Guru. So I have faith in them. Otherwise, if I constantly keep on doubting, then also mind will not be stable. Shraddha is that quality of the mind which is ready to give in the beginning the benefit of doubt also, but pending discovery. I'm ready to go along. I don't know still. They tell us you are Brahman. How can I be Brahman? I am so limited. Of all the people, me, I am Brahman, I am Ishvara. Totally, we cannot believe this. But Shraddha is that quality. Okay, Shastra is saying that. So, it must be true. Let me experiment. Let me go along with this. That is called Shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. This is a very, very important quality. If we have this, knowledge is bound to come. When the Shraddha is there, it is like that sponge which just absorbs. Similarly, my mind will also absorb the words of the Pramana. And Vedanta is Pramana for truth. Then Samadhanam. Sixth one is Samadhanam. Chitta ekagrata. Samadhanam. Now mind is all ready and focused. Otherwise, without focus, I am not going to know. Without that capacity to concentrate, nothing will happen. So that capacity we should find from ourselves. So that is also important. Shushantyadihi parichiyatam. Now, very important. Dradataram karmashu santyajyatam. Dradataram means firmly. Karma. Then ashu santyajyatam. There is that word ashu hidden there. Dradataram karma ashu santyajyatam. So what does it mean? Bhashyakara says, may you now quickly give up the actions. May you quickly give up pravritti. May you now give up. Now same Bhashyakara who in the beginning said that taduditam karma svanushthiyatam, may you follow the pravritti lakshana marg of the Vedas, do karma yoga, everything. But now same Bhashyakara with all these preparations, now he is saying, may you now give up karma. See, why? Because karma has done its job. When a thing does its job, then we should not be attached to it. Now give up. You have crossed the river with the help of the boat. But I am so attached to the boat now. So having crossed the river also, I carry it with me and take. Now that is not needed. Give up the boat. Only then and then will you be able to proceed. Similarly, karma has done its job. Namely what? Purity of the heart. My depletion of ego. All this has happened. So now you are all ready to know the self, which karma cannot give you. They say, Chittasya, what is the job of karma? Chittasya shuddhe. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. Karma is for the shuddhi of the chitta. Natu vastu upalabdhaye. Vastu atma will not be known by karma. That is not within the scope of the karma. On the contrary, karma will perpetuate samsara. So now you need to know the vastu. Vastu, jnanam is always vastu tantram. When I want to see, when I want to know this object, what should I do? My mind should be focused here. Object is there and the eyes are open, I will see. So knowledge is always true to the object. And for that I have to be ready for it. This object is there and mind, eyes, I have to open my eyes. Similarly, Atma is there. And now mind is ready. So far it was not ready. It has been made ready with Karma Yoga. Now it is ready. So now give up that disturbance. Give up karma. That is why Bhashyakara says, Dridataram, firmly give up. Which means he is indicating Vividisha Sannyasa. Now Bhashyakara is hinting at what? Vividisha Sannyasa. See, there are actually three kinds of sannyasa. One is while karma yoga. While performing the duties in the world, first level of sannyasa happens. While doing the duty, karma yoga means what? You are performing the duties, but what are you giving up? Raga dveshas. Likes and dislikes are being given up. So, in karma yoga, first sannyasa comes, which tyaga of raga dvesha. Sannyasa of raga dvesha happens. Then Now, mind is all ready. So now you are ready to give up karma. So second level will be giving up of what? Karma. Now give up karma because the time has come. Karma means restlessness. Karma, pravrutti, activity means planning, doing it well. So mind is all the time there. That time it is not available for Atma. But Shravanam also, when you have to go for the job and do this and that and etc., then even while you are praying and doing meditation, that will be there inside. So last 5 minutes we think only of that. Bus will go away, this will go away, train will. So last 15 minutes, why last 15? Throughout the meditation I meditate not upon Atma, but upon bus only. So this all becomes a disturbance. Bhashyakara is very, very clear about this. So he insists that even though this person still does not completely know the Atma, but for knowing the Atma, Veditum Ichha Vividisha. For knowing the Atma, Veditum Ichha, with the desire to know, now you give up karma. So formally give up karmas. There are you are formally, our Samskriti, our culture allows this. Even though you still do not know, but become sannyasi. Even though you are not a Mahatma abiding in Atma, but still to become that, you are allowed, if you are ready, to formally give up the karma. So now nobody expects, with these clothes, nobody expects from you that you should do this and do that, and other than teaching and all that. Nobody will propose to you also. The Swamiji used to say. So our Sanskriti allows this. Now do this. For that you need to give up. So people are also, they settle in their mind that now this fellow is gone. So we don't expect anything from him. And we also don't feel guilty. Otherwise we feel guilty. I should have done that. I should have done that. I should be of help. But finish all that. Runani trini apakrutya. Fulfill your, not just walk away like that. If you have responsibility, make arrangement for that. Runani trini apakrutya. Otherwise don't go. Not supposed to go. Make arrangements. Yajnavalkya did that and then took their permission. You can't just walk away like that if people are looking up to you. So, Runani Trini Apakrutya. Then Shastra says, Mano Mokshe Niveshayet. Now you can apply your mind for this. But then what about my duties? Now you have duty towards yourself. We don't only have duty towards others. Biggest duty is towards myself. Which means what? I must know who I am. That is my main duty. But now, when the time has come, you can give up. Don't feel hesitant. Don't feel guilty. Just proceed. That is what Bhashyakara is hinting. Having done that, again, in those days, they used to do that and then take sannyasa and then go. Shankaracharya ji himself, he was a different case, but he himself first took sannyasa. And then went where? Then from south he went towards north to look for the Guru. I mean, he started walking that side. So he took sannyasa first and then went in search of Guru. Because as I said, those days Gurus did not come and advertise that camp is there, please come, and all that. Scenario was altogether different. But so that is how they leave the home, and then one chapter is over, one chapter is closed, and new begins. You can give up lower, not to roam around. Now I will go to Himalayas, see that. No such things. Not for just wandering around. To study, to know. You can give up lower when you are ready to take up the higher. For higher you give up, not to escape. No, it is very difficult. Life is very difficult. Earning is very difficult. So I take sannyasa. No running away. No running away. No escape. To catch up the higher. And I have duty, the biggest duty towards myself. Now cater to that. Cater to that also. And so now you go. And then Sat Vidwan Upasrupyatam. This we will do tomorrow. Okay. Om Purnamata Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.